Welcome to Questathon. It is day one, kickoff sprints have just started, and I am getting ready to read the Salem Falls by Jodi Picoult, which is my weapon book. It is a standalone and a backlist book. They're the two prompts I'm hitting to get my weapon. Obviously, I had my pick pong choose all of my books. Oh, someone's just had a feed and has a bellyache. So I had my pick pong pick all my reads, and then I had to make them hit the prompts for Questathon. So we are kicking off the sprints with Salem Falls while I feed this one, and yeah, that's where we're at. Wish me luck. If you're unfamiliar with what Questathon is, I'll have the announcement video linked down below so you can go and check it out. But it is an awesome month-long readathon hosted by Sahar. I'll have her channel linked down below as well. Good morning. It is 6 a.m. So after I left you last night, Addie screamed the house down for 4 hours before she then went and slept for 6. So I'm kind of a little bit tired but also grateful. I'm currently sitting here. She's asleep on the floor and I'm reading Salem Falls. I am about 25 pages in and it's just reading really easily. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see where this goes. We've met our main character who was imprisoned for sexual assault, and I like him so far. I mean, I'm curious to see where this goes. And then we've also met or been introduced very briefly to the group of girls that are witches and had a little bit of an insight into them. I definitely prefer his story more than theirs, but I feel like once they become intertwined, I'll become more interested. In true Jodi Picoult fashion, it's reading really quickly, really easily, and I'm enjoying it. That she's asleep and I actually have some time to tell you, I am on Team Elves for the Questathon readathon. I probably should have started with that, but I was a little distracted at the start of this book. So yeah, I'm on Team Elves. I have no idea what weapon I'm going for. All I know is they're the two prompts that I'm hitting. So once I've hit them, I will decide what weapon we're going to use. She'll hopefully stay down for the next hour or so, hopefully. So I get about an hour of reading in. So I'm just going to sit here and read until she wakes up. So I will give you an update as to where I end up. Mrs. squirmed. Her starting point was like up here and she squirmed all the way down in her sleep. But my book is going well. But I think I'm gonna have to move Miss Grunty Grunt. Anyone else have a dinosaur baby that grunts a lot in their sleep? Morning. It is the 4th of July and wow, did I have a great night last night. She slept for 6 hours and then went down again at 2:40 and she's still down now. She is starting to fuss. It is now almost 7 o'clock in the morning. But I got a lot of reading done of Salem Falls. I am about... I don't have the physical copy, I'm listening to the audiobook, but I have about 7 hours left. So I am really enjoying it. And someone has told me that apparently the last page will shock you. So I'm excited to see, but yeah, loving it so far. Pretty much what it's about. There is an old teacher who has been wrongfully accused of sexual assault of a student of his. She became obsessed with him, fell in love, came out with a false report that they were having a sexual relationship. She wrote about it in her diary, There was all this evidence that pointed towards him, but he was completely innocent, so he was wrongfully accused and sent to prison for 8 months. He's now come out of prison and has moved to a small town of Salem Falls, which there's no crime rate, and he's met a girl named Addie, and he's fallen in love with her, and then the truth has come out, and now the whole town is trying to force him out. And there is a group of girls who believe that they're witches and kind of have like some magical powers. I don't know whether it's real or not. And they have tried to cast a spell on him and I have a feeling it's going to go terribly wrong, but the effects of it have not come into play yet, so we're going to see what happens. But the spell that they did cast on someone else has led to them get a brain tumor, so I don't know whether it's real or not. No idea where it's going to go, whether or not he's going to be run out, whether the truth's going to come out. And there is my cue to go and feed for the morning, so I better go. But yes, that is where I'm up to in terms of reading. If I have another good day today, I should hopefully get it finished, which would be amazing because that would be my weapon book for the bow and arrow, so I don't have to do the challenge. If not, my friend Hannah, who's a reader, is coming over today. I might get her to help me build the bookshelf challenge so that I can take a photo so that I have that as my backup if I need to. Okay, so it is the night of the 4th of July. I've just finished the nighttime feed and I have some theories and I felt like I needed to put them to recording so that if I'm right, I have proof. I usually tend to keep my vlogs spoiler free, but this book has been out for so long that I'm just kind of beyond caring at this point. So as I mentioned, this is about a person who's been wrongly accused of rape in the past. Well, my prediction is, because all the town folks want him gone, the evidence is just almost too perfect in this second case. He was drunk on the night of the offense and he'd just gotten in a fight with his girlfriend and was seen by the police officer that wanted him chased out, stumbling down the road drunk. And he ran off. And that was all we saw from his perspective. Now the rape has occurred and there happens to be a condom used, so no DNA evidence. The same condoms that were conveniently found in this guy's house. There was a boot print found, which happens to conveniently be the same size as our falsely accused main character. And the police officer said that they needed some hairs for DNA, and they've taken 30 hairs. I have a feeling some hairs are going to show up somewhere as proof of him being there or part of it. So my prediction is that it was actually the police officer that raped her, and that this main character, St. James, was completely framed. And the reason why I think that the police officer was able to get away with this is because he wore a mask and claimed he was St. James to get him framed. And the girl believed it because she had taken a whole bunch of drugs to help her get through some seance thing they'd been doing. So yeah, that's my prediction, is that it was the police officer who is framing our main character. I don't think it was our main character who raped the girl. That's my prediction. I will let you know if I'm correct, but I just needed to put this in recording because if I'm correct, I'm 50% through and that's my prediction. I'll be mad if I'm correct because I've kind of been I'll be annoyed that I guessed it so early. But yeah, that's my prediction. We'll see if I am shocked at the end or not. Okay, so it is the 6th of July and I have about an hour left of the audiobook. We're right in the middle of the court case at the moment and I'm just waiting for everything to just explode. My prediction is still that he is innocent and that someone is framing him. I have kind of changed my mind as to who I think is most sus. Originally I was thinking that it was the cop, but I'm now really sus about the victim's father. So we shall see. And I also feel like the victim could potentially also have made a lot of it up, because she's just recently found out that one of the other girls is claiming they were also attacked, and she is no, that didn't happen to you, it happened to me, it only happened to me. So there's obviously some psychological issues going on. But yeah, I'm really excited. I have about an hour left of the audiobook, so I'm hoping the baby stays asleep so I can finish it, but we shall see. I'm going to try and bake some cookies today as well, so fingers crossed. It is rainy and disgusting here today, and it's meant to be like this all week, so it's great reading time. Okay, so we've just got a not guilty verdict, but there's still 3% of the book left, and I have a feeling something epic is going to go down, because Amos Duncan, who is the father of Gillian Duncan, who's the victim, has just gotten really outraged, and I have a feeling he's going to say something and then he's going to admit it was him, or I don't know, we'll see. But that's I knew it. I fucking knew it. Amos was sexually assaulting his daughter the whole time. Fucking guessed it. Anyways, good book. Love it. 5 stars. Jodie Picoult did great as always. Addie and I are on the floor right now trying to get it finished because she was hanging out there, and then anyways, we got it done. 6 days, finished 1 book for Questathon. I now have my weapon, which means that I have passed the first chaos challenge, and I have a weapon ready to use later. I got the bow and arrow. So next up we will be reading our next book, which will be The Beginning Woods, which is for, I can't remember, the dark board I think is first. I'm pretty sure I can start that now. I'm not sure if I have to wait for us to get to that certain part of the quest or if I can start it now. I'm going to have to double check how the quest works, but that is what we're going to be starting next, is The Beginning Woods. I don't have it in here with me, but I will show you it and tell you more about it when I have read a bit more and get into it. And yeah, but book 1, check, and 5 stars, which is great. Okay, so it's a little later. I don't actually have the audiobook for The Beginning Woods by Malcolm McNeil, which is going to make this really difficult because a lot of my reading I've been getting in during like the night feeds, during audio, or while doing like chores around the house while she's asleep. She's down at the moment. I'm just about to make myself some lunch, so I figure I'll sit down and I'll start it. I mean, it is, I believe, like a YA or a middle grade, so it should read pretty quickly. But in terms of what it's about, it says, a mystery no one can solve, a baby no one wanted, a secret that could save the future, a story that will take you to another world. So I think we have like our main character who is having to try and solve a mystery and ends up having to go to the Beginning Woods, which is like this mysterious area, to be able to find out where he came from. But the truth will destroy him, ? So yeah, I don't know, it's got dragons on the front and it's definitely fantasy based from what I've heard, but yeah. And of course, she's awake just when Mum's about to have lunch. So it's the 1 a.m. feed, and I realised The Beginning Woods doesn't have an audiobook, so I decided to swap it out for Lightboard, because otherwise it'll take me days to read that physical book, probably like the rest of the month. So I swapped it out for something I can listen on audio. So I'm listening to the sequel to The Alien Ransom, which is, I'll put it up here so you can see it. I'm about 35% through. I started it earlier today. It's as good as the first one. Not quite, but I'm only 34% through. I do like the male protagonist in this a little bit more. It's the brother of the character we were following in the first one, and it also has some really good representation. So our main female protagonist is on the larger side, so it's got really good plus size rep. The Alien Ransom series follows a motorcycle gang of aliens that are vouched to protect women at all costs. That's like their species. And human women have been kidnapped and taken to an alien planet so that they can be breeded. And these men are trying to protect them at all costs and stop that from happening, and in turn falling in love with them themselves. It is apparently popular for anyone who likes Iceplanet Barbarians. It is along the same lines, so if you were a fan of Iceplanet Barbarians, I would recommend it. And there's less in the series, so it's less of a commitment. So I'm about 50% through now and really still enjoying it. In this one, we have one of the blue aliens who's the brother and a human girl, and they're trapped, being forced to breed because the alien race that has them kidnapped wants the race that they're breeding, aka the blue aliens, to be their new war weapon, because they got blades that like pop out of their skin. They're super strong, but all of the existing ones that exist at the moment don't think it's right, so they've already got their brain made up. They want new children that they can brainwash and change their brain. Anyways, so there at the moment are trying to escape, and one of the aliens, we'll call them the silver aliens because they're silver, one of the silver aliens is trying to help the blue alien and the human escape. And he's just given them a note and said, I'll help you get out as long as you kill the main silver alien. So the blue alien is now like, yep, I'm going to do this. We're going to get you out safe. We're going to procreate, but because we want to, because they've like fallen in love now. And yeah, that's it. So I have Bubba asleep, little squishy, and I'm baking cookies at the moment. We've got Anthony's brother coming over today. So I'm baking, these are breastfeeding cookies, lactation cookies. So I'm quickly getting those baked while she's hanging out and listening to it. So I think I've got about 3 hours of the audiobook left. So hopefully I should get that finished because I'm listening to it on 2 times speed. So that's where we're at though. They've just been given the key to his neck. He's got like a neck brace on that's like stopping him from being able to fight without them electrocuting him. And the guy's just given him the key for it and said, kill this other guy when I let you know. So that's where we're at. And the first smexy scene just happened. So things are gonna heat up soon. So that's where we're at. I should have finished it today. So that's great timing because it is the 7th today. So that puts me well on track to get things finished on time so that I can still read the beginning woods for Pick Pong so I can still pass Pick Pong. Okay, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Just did the 5 o'clock feed. She's passed out. And before you ask, yes, she can breathe. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I just finished the Alien Escape, which is the sequel to the Alien Ransom. And I've decided that I'm going to DNF the series. I am not getting as much, I don't want to use the word pleasure, but pleasure out of it as I did with the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I really enjoyed the first one, but I feel like the second one, I don't know, I didn't like the male love interest as much. He was very arrogant and almost like possessive in a bad way. Wasn't a fan of it. Yeah, and I feel like the smut in it was not as good as the first one. It's almost like she used all of her good ways to describe the way that these two species have sex in the first one and couldn't really talk about it in the second. So yeah, I just was like, meh, not really a fan. I finished it. I have finished the light board, so we are now moving on to the next part of our adventure. I'm not sure what book I'm going to be reading because I don't have my TBR next to me, but I will let you know when I pull it out. As for now, I am going to go back to bed, hopefully have another little dream sleep. And yeah, I will start that book sometime later this morning. We have Anthony's mum coming over for a visit and his brother, so Addie's uncle. So that'll be good. But for now, it's back to bed. And I'll let you know what my next book is in the next clip. But in terms of what I thought of sequel, probably 3 stars, whereas the first one was a 5 stars. And I will not be continuing the series at this point, which makes me sad because I loved Ice Planet Barbarians. But yeah, just the male love interest in this and the way that they were described annoyed me. Hey guys, so just a quick update. I am about 10% into Percy Jackson at the moment, and I just wanted to say that I'm really enjoying it as much as I loved the first one. I'm very curious to see where it's going to go, what troubles he's going to get into this time, and I'm also working on my Pick Pongathon prompts. So by the time this video has gone up, you will have hopefully already seen the Pick Pongathon announcement. If you haven't, I will have it linked. But it is a readathon that I am hosting in the month of August to celebrate my birthday, and it surrounds my TBR game Pick Pong. I did do Pick Pongathon last year, however things are going to run a little different this year, including having some co-hosts. You guys get to play along at home this time. There's going to be punishments, rewards, all kinds of fun things. So definitely go check out the announcement video that is linked down below as well as in the cards above, and come and participate. There's a Discord which I'll also have linked down below as well. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. Now, obviously, Spoopathon is in the first week of August, but the good thing about Pick Pongathon is the prompts are very closely kind of like crossovery, so you should be able to participate in both. You're so happy and cute. Where's that smile? Give me that smile. There it is. Hi. Say I love you. So I've just done the 10 p.m. feed and I'm about 35% into my next book. So this is the book for the strategy board, I believe, and it is the Percy Jackson book 2. Percy Jackson, The God of Olympus book 2, which is Sea of Monsters. I am not going to bother explaining what the Percy Jackson series is. Everybody knows. And if you don't, go look it up. But this one is book 2 in the series, and I actually am preferring it to book 1. I feel like it's a lot more action-packed from the start, and we already know who our characters are, so I am really enjoying it. Hello, so it is it's not Tuesday. It is Wednesday, the 14th of July, and I am currently approximately 100 pages into my third book of the adventure. So I think I've just reached the trolls, if I recall what part of the adventure that's getting me to. And I'm reading Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, and we've just had the crisis challenge come up for this week, and we have to draw a character from our book for the next, like when we turn to our next page in our book, the next character that is mentioned is the one we have to draw. So my next character that was mentioned was Tyson. Is the Cyclops half brother from Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. So this is what I've done. As you can see, I'm so talented. While I'm having my morning coffee, the baby is semi down for a nap. She keeps kind of half waking up, so I'm going to do as much reading as I can while she is semi down, and hopefully get a little bit further into this. But I am loving it so far. I'm actually preferring it to the first one because I feel like I know the characters a bit more. I kind of know the world a little bit more, and I feel like the legends that are being told, I feel like I'm more interested in. So very exciting, enjoying it so far. I'm going to read a bit more. My audiobook hasn't come in yet, so that's why it's taking me so long to read this, is because I don't have the audio yet. So a lot of this is just been Kindle or physical reading in feeds. And then I will be moving on to my next book, which is book 3 in this series. So I will give you an update once I get further along in this, probably just when I finish it, if I'm honest. But I managed to film and edit Questathon announcement, which is up now. If you are seeing this, it's already probably August, and Questathon has already started. So come join the fun if you haven't already. So Addie is asleep. I am currently cooking dinner, and I just want to give you an update as to where I am up to. So I am about 70% into Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse, which is my 4th book for Questathon. I am just about to put up just about to use my bow and arrow for the challenge this week. I have baked things and made things, like I've made chicken, I've made chocolate chip cookies, I've made so much stuff, but nothing that I can think of that's in any book. So I'm just going to use my bow and arrow to pass the challenge this week. Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse, about 70% into, really loving it. I still prefer book 2. Like, this one is still exciting, but I prefer book 2 so far out of the 3 that I've read. But there's still 25% for this one to like redeem itself, so we shall see. But I just feel like I prefer the characters and the adventure that they were on a bit more in book 2, so we shall see whether that changes with book 3. But at the moment, number 2 is where I am at for Percy Jackson. But I still love the series, like I'm still enjoying it. This is probably going to be a 4.5, maybe 4-star so far, whereas the first 1 and 2 were a 5-star. So we shall see. I'm going to get back to cooking dinner and listening to it so I can get it finished, but I just wanted to give you a bit of an update. So there's like 5 days left in the month. I haven't even finished Percy Jackson yet, and I still have to finish the other book to get past. I don't think I'm going to pass Questathon. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know, a miracle might come out, but Addie has her needles tomorrow, so I have a feeling I'm going to have a pretty sooky, clingy baby for the next couple of days, so who knows if I'll make it through, but wish me luck. So it is now the 27th 8th of the month, and it is looking like I probably won't get my last book completed. So what I've done is my last 2 books completed. Sorry, I thought I only had 1 left, but I've got 2 left. So for the dark board, I am going to substitute Heartless by Marissa Meyer out for the Anne of Green Gables graphic novel, because I wanted to read it anyways. It's a quick graphic novel and it fits the prompts as well. Because this morning I woke up and watched the sunrise, because it is what you do when you have a young baby. And then the fun activity we are going to do is today we are going to go for a walk down to visit the cows. And I'm counting that because that's motherhood. And then the last book that I need to do will be the final adventure or the final battle board, which I am going to listen to The Inheritance by Gabrielle Berg-Moser that I have on Audible, because it's a 3-hour audio book. So I think I can get that done in the next 2 days. So that's my plan, so that I can still finish, is I'm going to substitute books out. This also means that obviously I'm not reading the books that I need to be reading for Pick Pong, which means I'm most likely going to fail Pick Pong. But I've already filmed my Pick Pong and it's coming up. It will already be out by the time you see this. So I will just start up with a punishment in September to accommodate for that, because yeah, it was looking like I was going to get it done and then it didn't happen because life. So that is what I'm going to do instead, is substitute those 2 books out so I can still complete Questathon. So I can still complete Questathon and get the points for the Elves team that I'm on. But that way I am failing Pick Pong. So I'm making the sacrifice for the team of the Elves. So that's what I want to do now, is read Anne of Green Gables. Little Miss is still asleep. She had her needles yesterday, so it's either going to be a really easy day because she sleeps most of it, or it's going to be a really hard day because she's going to want to be all over me. So that's why I have a graphic novel and an audiobook option, so that I can do either depending on the mood she is in. So I just finished reading the Anne of Green Gables graphic novel. I can't remember who it was that recommended this to me. I think it might have been Liv from Liv's Library. I can't remember. In one of her lives, maybe someone had said to me. So I'm a huge Anne of Green Gables fan. I loved Anne with an E. The original obviously was better, but the Netflix adaptation of Anne with an E was really, really good too. And so yeah, I was really excited to sit down and read the graphic novel. It's fairly close to the story, not much is different. So I loved it. That was for my dark board, I believe. The prompts that I hit were watch a sunrise and do a fun activity. Well, the fun activity I did today was go for a walk and go down and see the cows. Now, my phone unfortunately was dead when we went down for the walk, so I couldn't exactly take you with me because I do a lot of my vlog filming on my phone. So yeah, we went for a walk. It was really nice. The cows were out. The rain had, the flooding that we've had up here had subsided, so it was beautiful. As you can see, the sun is out. It's amazing. However, there was a little bit of wind, and Adeline is very, very fussy when it comes to wind. She's a little princess and hates the wind. So we probably only got about half an hour in before she decided she wanted to crack it and come on home. But it was good to get out of the house, get some fresh air in. So now that I finished that one, I will be moving on to the final book for Questathon, which is the final quest, the final battle board, which I will be reading The Consequence by Gabrielle Berg-Moser. I have such high hopes for this one. Oh my God. I loved The Hunted by him. It was like a 5-star read. So I'm expecting more great things from this. We shall see what happens. So yeah, that's what we're moving on to now. She's still asleep after our walk, so hopefully I have time to fit this in before I have to wake her up for a feed. So I was just on Rye from Rye's Reading Corner's Patreon Sprints, and I managed to get The Consequence by Gabrielle Berg-Moser completely finished. Did my nails and a pedicure as well, so I have fingernails and toenails done. Ate some cookies. The baby is still asleep, so I'm feeling great. I am loving the relaxation I'm getting today, because she doesn't usually give me this much time during the day. Usually she fights naps, so it's great. But I just wanted to get on here and give you my thoughts on The Consequence. So Gabriel Bergmoser, he wrote The Hunted, which was one of my favorite books of all time, like one of my favorite thrillers. Absolutely loved it. I was really, really excited to read The Consequence it will listen to because it's an Audible exclusive original or whatever. And I'm so sad to say that I only gave it 2 stars. It definitely had Gabriel's writing style in there, like for sure. I could tell it was written by him. But the actual plot of this story versus the plot of The Hunted, and I know you should never compare books from one author to, like, from books from an author with their other works, but honestly, The Hunted was a 5-star without question, unable to put it down, loved every second of it, could not fault it, could not forget it. And unfortunately, that was not the case with The Consequence. I have finished it and I almost barely remember what happened. That's, yeah. I'm upset, but I'm not going to give up on Gabriel Bergmoser because like the writing was still fine. It was just the overall plot of this, like I found myself completely just not interested. So there we have it. I have completed Questathon because that was my final battle board. So I am going to upload all this footage, get it edited and up for you guys so you can see it. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and see you later. Bye.